Welcome everyone. In this lecture, we are going to see the space segment access, that is nothing but the satellite access methods and the different modulation techniques used in the satellite communication, then assignment methods. It may be the different types of frequency, or we can say the multiplexing techniques, or we can say modulation techniques that we are going to see in this. And for this, a transponder channel abroad a satellite may be fully loaded by a single transmission from an earth station, and this is referred to as a single axis mode of operation. It is also possible for a transponder to be loaded by a number of carriers from a number of earth stations, and each earth station may transmit one or more of the carrier. This mode of operation is termed as multiple access. So this topic is total related to the type of access methods that we are going to see, whether it is single access method or multiple access method, or whether we are going with the multiplexing techniques, and for whether it is fixed assignment method, or we are going for the assignments methods or pre-assigned methods accordingly. The need for multiple access arises because more than two earth stations will be within the service area of a satellite. The two methods of multiple access are frequency division multiple access and time division multiple access. These are analogous to frequency division multiplexing and time division multiplexing. That is, already we have seen types of multiplexing in the digital communication, that how this multiplexing will be utilized for the communication purpose. However, the multiple access and multiplexing are different concepts. Modulation, that is multiplexing is essentially a transmission feature, whereas multiple access is essentially a traffic feature. A third category of multiple access is code division multiple access. In this method, each signal is associated with a particular code that is used to spread the signal in frequency and or time. All such signals will be received simultaneously at an earth station, but by using the key to the code, the station can recover the desired signal by means of correlation. The other signals occupying the transponder channel appear very much like random noise to the correlation decoder. Multiple access also may be classified by the way in which circuits are assigned to users. That is, circuit in this context implies one communication channel through the multiple access transponder. That is, one communication channel through the multiple access transponder may be pre-assigned, or we can call this one as a circuit may be pre-assigned, which means they are allocated on a fixed, or sometimes it may be partially fixed basis to certain users. Pre-assignment is a simple to implement but is efficient only for the communication links with continuous heavy traffic. An alternative to pre-assignment is demand assigned multiple access, simply abbreviated as DAMA. In this method, all circuits are available to all users and are assigned according to the demand. That is, DAMA results in more efficient overall use of the circuits but is more costly and complicated to implement. So both frequency division multiple access and time division multiple access can be operated as a pre-assigned or demand assigned systems, whereas the CDMA is a random access system, there being no control over the timing of the access or the frequency slots assessed. These multiple access methods refers to the way in which a single transponder channel is utilized. A satellite carries a number of transponders and normally each covers a different frequency channel. This provides a form of frequency division multiple access to the whole satellite system. It is also possible for the transponders to operate at the same frequency but to be connected to different spot beam antennas. That is, utilizing the same frequency but that signal will be connected to different spot beam antennas. These allow the satellite as a whole to be accessed by Earth stations, and these Earth stations are widely separated geographically but are transmitting on the same frequency. This is termed as frequency reuse, where we are transmitting from the satellite using spot beam antennas signals with the same frequency, and that will be accessed by the Earth stations which are widely separated but transmitting on the same frequency. So the same frequency can be utilized by the more than one two Earth stations. So it is frequency reuse. This method of access is referred to as space division multiple access. Each spot beam may itself be carrying signals in one of the other multiple access formats. Now we'll see the single access system or single access method. With single access, a single modulated carrier occupies the whole of the available bandwidth of a transponder. Single access operation is used on heavy traffic routes and requires large earth station antennas such as the class A antenna shown that we see here in the diagram. As an example of such type of antenna is Telesat Canada provides heavy route message trap facilities with each transponder channel being capable of carrying 960 one-way voice circuits on an FDM or FM carriers. The Earth station employs a 30-meter diameter of antenna and a parametric amplifier which together provides a minimum G by T of 37.5 dB per Kelvin. We can see here the Earth station antenna, that is class A type of antenna, which will be used for heavy traffic routes. So this is the heavy traffic route where with the channel bandwidth has been given for frequency modulation. Single access will be used here, and near about 960 voice channels will be used here for such type of antenna. So that now here is the next is we have to go for the pre-assigned techniques or pre-assigned FDMAs, that is frequency slots may be pre-assigned. That we have seen that FDMA and TDMA both can be used as pre-assigned techniques. So the frequency slots may be pre-assigned to analog and digital signals. The analog signal in the FDM, FM or FDMA format will be considered first. The signals are frequency division multiplexed, frequency modulated with frequency division multiple access to the satellite. The voice frequency, that is basically the telephone signals, are first SSBSC amplitude modulated onto voice carriers in order to generate the single sidebands needed for the frequency division multiplexing. Each Earth station will be assumed to transmit 60 channel supergroup. Then the frequency modulated onto a carrier which is then up converted to a frequency in the satellite uplink band. All the three we are going to see in the figure. There are three Earth stations that access a single satellite transponder channel simultaneously, and each communicates with both of the other Earth stations. Thus, it is assumed that the satellite receive and transmit antenna beams are global and encompassing all three Earth stations. Each Earth station transmits one uplink carrier modulated with a 60 channel supergroup and receives two similar downlink carriers. The Earth station at New York is shown here in detail that one transmit chain is used, and this carries telephone traffic for both the other Earth stations Ottawa and London. We can see into this figure there are three Earth stations. One is Ottawa, New York and London. There is one transmitting chain which is from London to the other Earth stations, that is Ottawa and London. From New York it is, and the another link or receiving chain is given here which is from the other two Earth stations Ottawa and London towards the New York. So this is the channel selection and baseband reformatting, whereas we are considering here with the New York. Here each Earth station will be communicating with the other two Earth stations simultaneously through the same satellite transponder. This is the satellite transponder which will be used here, and which is used the fixed assignment frequency division multiple access here. Okay, so this is the terrestrial multiplex baseband lines are given here. So with the help of this we can see in the next figure how this will be utilized, or two links will be utilized for the communication with other two earth stations. One on the receive side, that is we consider here two receive chains must be provided, one for the Ottawa and another originated carrier, and the one for the London originated carrier. Here is two receive links we must be provided here from New York to the Ottawa and London. Each of these carriers will have a mixture of traffic, and in the demultiplexing unit only those telephone channels intended for New York are passed through. So these are remultiplexed onto an FDM or FM format, which is transmitted out along the terrestrial line to the New York switching office. Again, one of the example of this frequency assignment scheme we can see in the next diagram, that how this is given here for the transponder channel assignment for the earth stations, which have already we have seen is that from this Ottawa earth station there are 60 channel supergroup we are providing. This is the uplink carrier we are providing towards the New York and London, and this is the downlink carriers from again you can see that from the transponder to the New York and London, from the Ottawa we can send, or in the downlink from the New York to the Ottawa and London. This is the transponder bandwidth. Typically we have seen that there are the subgroup of 60 channels. FDM and FM carrier occupies 5 MHz of transponder bandwidth including the guard bands. A total frequency allowance of 15 MHz is therefore required for the three stations, as each station receives all the traffic. The remainder of the transponder bandwidth may be unused, or it may be occupied by the other carriers. So Telesat Canada operates medium route message facilities using FDM, FM, FDMA. We can see the one of the example of such Telesat antenna that will be used for the Canada here, and which will show how 5 carriers may be used to support 168 voice channels. The earth station that carries the full load has a G by T of 37.5 dB per Kelvin, and the other 4 have G by Ts of 28 dB per Kelvin. So this is nothing but the diagram that will show that the medium route message traffic, which utilizes the frequency division multiple access FM, FDMA, and for the Telesat Canada, whereas there are here about 168 voice circuits which will be given from this earth station, and 24 voice circuits, whereas 24, 36 respectively. For each earth stations they will be different. So what we say here is the first one will use the 37.5 dB per Kelvin, whereas the other 4 stations have G by T ratio of 28 dB per Kelvin. So pre-assignment also may be made on the basis of a single channel per carrier, SCPC, and this refers to a single voice or data channel per carrier, not a transponder channel, which may be in fact carry some hundreds of voice channels by this method. The carriers may be frequency modulated or phase shift modulated, and an earth station may be capable of transmitting one or more SCPC. That SCPC is nothing but single channel per carrier signals simultaneously. So in the Intelsat SCPC channeling scheme, we will see for the 36 MHz transponder, the transponder bandwidth is subdivided into 800 channels, each 45 kHz wide, and the 45 kHz, which includes a guard band, is required for each digitized voice channel, which utilizes QPSK modulation. In this figure we can see the single channel per carrier Intelsat's example with the 36 megahertz transponder. Here is the channel arrangement for Intelsat single channel per carrier system is given. 36 megahertz is its bandwidth. The channel information signal may be digital data or it may be the PCM voice signal. A pilot frequency, we can see here the sender frequency, the pilot frequency is transmitted for the purpose of frequency control, and the adjacent channel slots on either side of the pilot are left vacant to avoid the interference. So these slots, that is 400 and 40100 frequency slots, are left vacant here to avoid the interference. The scheme before provides a total of 798 one-way channels, as we have used 800 channels but 2 slots we have kept vacant. So the total of 798 one-way channels or up to 399 full duplex voice circuits will be used here. That is, full duplex means two-way communications we are using, so it will become to 399. In duplex operation, the frequency pairs are separated by 18.045 megahertz. The frequency tolerance relative to the assigned values is within plus minus 1 kilohertz for the received SCPC carrier and must be within plus minus 250 megahertz for the transmitted SCPC carrier. The pilot frequency is transmitted by one of the Earth stations designated as a primary station. This provides a reference for automatic frequency control of the transmitter, frequency synthesizers and receiver local oscillators. In the event of failure of the primary stations, the pilot frequency is transmitted from a designated backup station. An important feature of the Intelsat SCPC system is that each channel is voice activated. This means that on a two-way telephone conversation, only one carrier is operated at any one time. Also, in long pauses between speech, the carriers are switched off. It has been estimated that for telephone calls, the one-way utilization time is 40% of the call duration. Using voice activation, the average number of carriers being amplified at any one time by the transponder traveling wave tube is reduced. For a given level of intermodulation distortion, the TWT power output per FDMA carrier can be increased. So, the single channel per carrier systems are widely used on the lightly loaded routes. This type of service is referred to as an thin route service. It enables remote earth stations in sparsely populated areas to connect into the national telephone network in a reasonably economical way. A main earth station is used to make the connection to the telephone network, and the Intelsat Canada thin route message facilities provide up to 362-way circuits using the PSK and ACPC. The remote terminals operate with 4.6 meter diameter antennas with G by T values of 19.5 or 21 dB per Kelvin. Transportable terminals are also available here, and this is a single channel station that uses a 3.6 meters of antenna. We can see here in the diagram that used for thin route message traffic where single channel per carrier will be used, whereas this is the telephone network. Main terminal will be connected to the telephone network, and accordingly these are some of the small terminals in remote communities has been connected here. So in this way we can communicate with the small terminals in the remote areas. Whereas this is the transportable message station which has been also shown here. So the pre-assigned FDMAs we have seen. Now we will see the demand assigned FDMAs. In the demand assigned mode of operation, the transponder frequency bandwidth is subdivided into a number of channels. A channel is assigned to each carrier in use, giving rise to the single channel per carrier mode of operation. As in the pre-assigned access mode, carriers may be frequency modulated with analog information signals, these being designated FM, SCPC, or they may be phase modulated with digital information signals, these being designated as PSK or SCPC. Demand assignment may be carried out in a number of ways, that is, in the polling method, a master earth station continuously polls all the earth stations in sequence, and if a call request is encountered, frequency slots are assigned from the pool of available frequencies. So, such polling delay with such a system tends to become excessive as the number of participating earth station increases. Instead of using a polling sequence, earth station request calls through the master earth station as the need arises. This is referred to as centrally controlled random access. The request go over a digital order wire, which is a narrowband digital radio link or a circuit through a satellite transponder reserved for this purpose. That is, frequencies are assigned if available by the master station, and when the call is completed, the frequencies are returned to the pool. If no frequencies are available, the blocked call request may be placed in a queue, or a second call attempt may be initiated by the requesting stations. As an alternative to centrally controlled random access, control may be exercised at each earth station, this being known as distributed controlled random access. A good illustration of such a system is provided by the SPADE system operated by Intelsat on some of its satellites. So we can see here the SPADE system. In the next lecture we are going to see. In this we have seen the FDMA, then what are the assigned methods, single access mode, multiple access mode, then pre-assigned frequency division multiple accessing, and demand assigned multiple accessing. So such type of distributed controlled random access we can see into the SPADE system, which will be operated by the Intelsat in some of the satellites. So in the next lecture we are going to see the SPADE systems for the satellite. Thank you.